Okay, so right now I just want to talk about the dirty truth about corporate culture, lying on LinkedIn, getting a resume together to get a real job in real life. Okay, and as somebody who formerly worked in corporate America for a number of years before I built my business, these days I would probably not last a day in today's current corporate environment. And the main reason for that is because most corporations have completely gone woke out there. It's insane how many of these companies, especially these startups, don't really want to create an environment where you have a life outside of your job. They really kind of want to create a bubble where you both work and play inside of your job just so that you never leave, almost so you become like a prisoner of that job. So you see a lot of these startups and even some major corporations, they start building like a rock wall in the office. They start having a game room with like ping pong tables and arcade games, and they're encouraging their employees to hang out there during their breaks, hang out there after hours, after they're done working. And it's like, I'm a little old school, too old school for that. I mean, for me, I've always looked at work as, I just want to get in there, get my job done as quickly as possible, and go home as quickly as possible so I can do whatever I want. If I want to do anything that's recreational, I'd rather do that on my own time. I do not want to stay at the office when I'm not being paid to be there. I don't want to play your video games. I don't want to play ping pong there. And I really don't even want to eat there, because a lot of these places also give you free food now, right? That's to entice you to not want to leave, because like, ooh, I don't have to pay for food. And I do understand that, because food, it can add up if you go to lunch all the time, and a lot of those lunches and meals start to add up after a while. Whereas if they're giving you free food, it's like, ooh, and you kind of like take some of this bag, some of this food home, like in like a little baggie. You could save money that way. When it comes to corporate culture, I would not last a day in that environment. I think it's so silly, and dare I use a millennial term, cringy, when I see these corporate videos encouraging and really showcasing their employees acting like children, as if they're still in kindergarten or a nursery. And many of these startups really do resemble nurseries at this point, and I mean, you could see some of this stuff in LinkedIn, which brings me to my next point. When it comes to LinkedIn, this is the primary social platform that people are using in order to get jobs in corporate America today. This is why I just really wouldn't last today. I mean, I'm just so old school. I'm used to just creating my resume as best as I can, and then stalking the HR lady, and then following her after she gets out, and then selling myself to her above other candidates. That's how I got my Fortune 100 job, and just doing whatever it takes. Whereas now, apparently, you do everything on LinkedIn, and you have to have like your social media profile. Not only that, you have to link to your other social media, and then they could see what you're doing and what you're up to. I mean, obviously, no corporation wants to like see what I've been doing, right? And hire this pickup artist these days. Even though I did very well when I was working in corporate America, I made, my company that I worked for at the time, which was AT&T. I don't really volunteer that information a whole lot these days, but I did work for AT&T. That was the Fortune 100. I was an advertising consultant there, and did very well for them. I made them a whole lot of money, and brought them a whole lot of new accounts. I don't know how much they've changed, but just seeing how other corporations have changed, I would not want to be a part of it. Okay, because even back then, I just like to go in, do my job as quickly as I could, and leave. And I would always perform. I never half-assed it. I would do my job. But I was always eager to get out of there because I want to do my own thing. And you know what? When the day was over, when the weekend came, I did not think about my job. When I left my job, I did not think twice about it until I came back the next day. I didn't care about it. I didn't think about it. I didn't check my voicemail. It was non-existent to me until I showed up the next day. Whereas today, in today's environment, you're encouraged to think about your job 24/7. And the only time you should do that is if it's your own business. right? Because when it's your own business, you're really making the bulk of the profit outside of paying your employees, any shareholders. You're making the bulk of the profit. So it's like your baby, right? And you need to keep growing it. So you have a stake and an incentive in thinking about it 24/7. But when you're just an employee, they can fire you. Why should you be thinking about them 24/7? Why on earth would you care knowing that they can replace you at any time? But, obviously they're selling you on this by, by making sure you spend every waking moment of your life thinking about your job and living for the company and their values and their wokeness and playing ping pong in their game room and, playing Space Invaders in the lunchroom. It's like, I don't want to do that, man. Just let me do my job and go home, and don't try to peer pressure me into having drinks with you guys after work or playing hacky sack outside at lunchtime. Don't try to make me feel bad because, I don't want to spend my time with you because I see you every single day and I'd rather go home to my dogs or do something else. That is the culture that is part of a lot of these corporations these days, right? A lot of these startups. That's like, it's just like a nursery for adults. And I'm just basing this off of the videos that I've seen on LinkedIn. Let me jump into LinkedIn for a second here. I mean, LinkedIn in itself is like one big virtue signaling, woke ass, corporate cringy, to take that millennium term, cringe platform. I mean, they even have memes now. They even have memes based off of people's LinkedIn posts that are completely smug, completely just self-congratulatory, and, just so self-absorbed that it's just kind of like, really? Really? But there's memes based on this, right? It's hilarious, but there's memes based on this. But LinkedIn is hilarious to me because this is the new resume, right? LinkedIn is the new resume, and it's all about your connections, what connections you have with other people, what posts have you liked. It's really taken bullshitting on your resume to a whole new level because people on LinkedIn, I mean, you should see their profile. Some people make it sound like they walk on water just because they're always desperate for the next job. They're always trying to connect with people. So they might have an opportunity with this company or that company. I mean, to me, it's just not even worth it. I mean, I thank God every day I started my own business. I thank my lucky stars I'm not a part of that environment anymore. If I saw my company become like that today, I would have quit. I just don't. I mean, I would have done this anyway and started my own business, started my own thing. I can never work for somebody else again. Not only because they probably wouldn't hire me just based on my social media posts now and my YouTube channel, but I don't have to. I'm financially free, and I freed myself, and I can retire at any point I want to. I don't have to work another day in my life again if I don't want to, but I choose to work. That's what really gives me ultimate joy. But more than that, I have the freedom. I don't have to answer these people. I feel bad for my girl because she's 20 and she has to go through these things now. And I guess that's the thing that pains me the most is I'm seeing her go through the application process. I try to help her as best as I can. It's very foreign to me because I worked in corporate America at apparently a different time, right? It was only a decade ago, and it seems like it was a century ago because things have changed so much, and everything is being done through the cringe called LinkedIn, and you really have to sell yourself on there and make yourself sound like you could fly through the air, in order to even get noticed. So yeah, I feel for her and I see it and I'm like, man, this stuff is just so it's so ridiculous these days. But, something that she has to go through, and it's probably something that you have to go through too if you're still working for somebody else, and you have not, and you have no interest in starting your own business, because this is not for everybody, by the way. It looks great, right? At the top of Vegas, I get to travel all the time and get the best hotels, the best views, and I get to stay here for as long as I want. I usually stay for up to a month at a time. The hotel usually has to, now they don't bother me, but before they would do security checks every couple of weeks. So they were thinking it's always something nefarious if somebody stays for, as long as I do, but they don't anymore because they know who I am. They're like, oh, leave him alone. He's just doing his thing. And so now they don't bother me, but still, I mean, it's pretty awesome, but it's not for everybody because it takes a lot of work, and there's a lot of stress involved that a lot of people can't handle, a lot of financial risk that a lot of people don't want to undertake, and that's understandable. It's easier to just work for the man and get a paycheck every week, and you don't have to worry about it. But what you do have to worry about is getting fired. And whenever I see these corporations trying to sell their employees on, adopting their values and basically living for them and being like them and, not having any independent thought, that's pretty creepy to me. Right? That's pretty creepy to me. At least AT&T never did that to me. They kind of let me be my own person. My boss was cool too. He let me just do my thing. A lot of times I didn't even come into the office, but he knew I was getting my job done. They never forced me to play ping pong with anybody. I don't even think we had a game room, right? And I was just a number to them. And you know what? I like that. I just wanted to, be a number. I didn't want to be like ingrained in that because it's just a job to me, right? It's just a job. But nowadays, when you work for a lot of these companies, you're being encouraged to be like a family and to gather together, spend time at each other's homes. I just don't understand that. I mean, I'm like, work is work, and I like to separate that from my personal life. When you have a business, obviously you can't. You have to intertwine it. It's almost impossible not to separate your life from your business, right? Your life becomes your business. But you know what? That's the trade-off when you're making all the profit, pretty much. That is the trade-off, and I'm okay with that, right? Especially if it's a business that I created, that I enjoy, that's my baby, that's fine. That's like a car that I built, right? I mean, it's like, of course I do. I don't mind that, right? But if it's a company and I'm just getting a paycheck and these fools can fire me at any time and just kick me to the curb, no, man, no. I'm just going to do my job. I'm going to do what you paid me to do, but I don't want to be forced to adopt your creepy ass mindset or participate in any of your like woke ass extracurricular activities and play Galaga downstairs. I don't want to do that with you guys. I want to do my own thing. It's pretty crazy. If you guys were on LinkedIn, I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Like, tell me LinkedIn hasn't gone like super woke, super cringe. I mean, you should see some of these like corporate recruitment videos that are on LinkedIn. I think there's even one guy on YouTube who has a whole channel. It's like a popular channel based on like LinkedIn cringe. It'll make you not want to like be part of like the corporate world. But this is why I encourage you guys, especially if you have an entrepreneurial mindset, to free yourself and do your own thing. Especially if you're just out to make money. I mean, you'll always do better on your own than you will working for someone else. And best part is nobody can fire you. The only con is you're going to have to take a lot of financial risk. It's not for everybody. You have to hustle 24/7, and you have to have a lot of energy, right? And that's something I've always had. I've always had good energy. Share any ideas as usual, guys, below. I don't even know what else to say about this. If you're currently in the job market right now, let me know how it is for you. Share with the tribe. I'm sure other guys are trying to get jobs out there. Let me know what it's like. And let me know if any struggles you've had with that and anything that you don't like about it these days, and any of you that are experiencing that right now. Share with the tribe and let me know your experiences below. As always, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. Do not forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on my YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton when you actually subscribe to my channel, so please make sure you're subscribed to the Alpha Male Secrets channel as well.